All right, what's up, Dragon Brood? I wanted to show off a deck that I've been goofing around with that just helped me race right into Diamond when I was just goofing around. And it turns out this might actually be pretty good, and we have a fun way to get some really big creatures onto the battlefield. So we're starting with some Burst Lightning because, damage, why not? And then we have some of your typical creatures in green with your Llanowar Elves and your Badger Mole Cub, but we are playing some Bramble Familiar because we want to be able to cast the Fetch quest to try to dig through to get some of our bigger creatures. Which, by the way, having these cards that let you mill stuff and then get something actually works against those Reanimator decks, because if you think they're going to get the demon, you can just leave a bunch of creatures in your graveyard. But speaking of which, we do have some Keen-Eyed Curator as extra defense against those graveyard decks, as well as Leyline Weaver to help us cast our stuff, a couple of copies of Scrap Shooter to get rid of artifacts and enchantments. But we're getting to play with Vast Land Scavenger. This is a card I've been wanting to put into more decks, so this might be the first or maybe the second. I think the first one we played this on the channel. So really looking forward to using this. It does randomly have Death Touch as a 4/4 for 3, which is cool, but really, we want to cast Bind to Life so we can just try to find one of our monsters. We do have Ouroboros because this card's still good. The one spot where we could squeeze in a Firewood Gear Hulk because, why not? And then we have a couple of Mikey or Raph and Mikey, almost said that backwards, that can help us find other stuff. Yes, sometimes we're going to hit mana creatures, and that's okay. We mostly want this whenever we just want a big 7/7 hasty body. But most of the time, we're going to be aiming to hit a Craterhoof Behemoth and just sneak a win out of nowhere. But we'll see how that goes. Before that, though, I got to do the business and tell you check out our friends over at Tales of Adventure, because if you haven't, you should go buy. You'd be supporting the channel, and you can save 5% on whatever you buy over there if you're willing to use my code DRAGON, which is just DRAGN at checkout. But all right, that bit of business out of the way, let's go play some games and see how many big monsters we can get on the cheap. Yes, we will keep this. Actually, maybe we won't. Having both Raph and Mikey and the Craterhoof with just about... Nah, we're going to mulligan that. Almost kept it, but I think keeping it would have been the wrong call. Keep this. Let's... Problem is, it's going to be hard to cast anything on 2. So I'm going to put back a mountain and hope to draw some type of green source. Like, okay, well, monkey's paw and all that. I guess I should have asked for an untapped one. Big mistake on my part. All right, well, what are we doing here? Let's play a Weaver, which will likely just die to a Lightning Helix. No, a Virtue of Loyalty. Nice. Oh, I know what this is. I have a deck similar to this right now, actually. Pretty fun to see. Yep. I have it for that very reason, to play the Antiquities on the loose. Yeah, no blocks. You got it. That does me no good here. If I go 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we could do this. Let's... Yeah, so we'll tap the Weaver to play the Ouroboros. Then we can tap 2 to play the Curator. And at least have things I can block now. Temporarily. I mean, they could always just replay or play another Antiquities. Interesting that they chose that instead of my Ouroboros, but also means they're not likely to have a Lightning Helix because of the type of deck they're playing. All their stuff is going to cost 5+. They don't want cheap stuff because you don't want to accidentally hit those with the Atali's favor. So that's information we have working for us. Let's go ahead and play a Vast Land Scavenger. Let's play the other Bramblewood Familiar. Play this tapped. And then we'll just pass and have a group of solid blockers. No reason to attack. And then we'll try to set up something big next turn. Yeah, that's fine. Well, we got what we wanted out of those last 2 turns. The Ouroboros did its job. Okay, let's see if we can hit something big. Ooh, there was a Mikey and Raph in there. Oh, a Crater Hoof. Does Crater Hoof just end things? I think it does, because everything would be +4. So we have 9, 10, and 8. So that's 19, 27 plus the 9 is 36 minus 10. Yep, that's enough. Let's take a Crater Hoof. And we still have the Burst Lightning. All right. Woo. Ooh. Look like that might get away from us. This is an easy mulligan. We couldn't play anything till turn 3, so that's not how we're trying to go. This we will keep putting 1 Scavenger back. And a Survivor. Alright, we'll pass. See if we need to remove anything with the Burst Lightning. We'll just take 2, I suppose. Alright, I'm going to assume the opponent's able to protect a creature. So we'll go ahead and let them defend once. And I'm okay with them doing this, honestly, because the way these decks work, you just got to do what you can to get their problematic cards out of the way. So let's go ahead and play a Llanowar Elf. I'm assuming they have 2 of them, but we'll see. Nope, they only had 1. Well, that's a huge benefit to us. Can we get an untapped land? That would be great. We cannot. That's unfortunate. Alright, well, Cub into a Llanowar Elf, I suppose. Would you like to destroy my Cub? They would not. Alright, let's go Llanowar Elf then. Alright, pass the turn. Hopefully we don't get our board swept or something. Usually these Aura's decks don't really have sweepers. They're looking for a creature to put like a shelter on or something. There you go. And then you shelter to get rid of our Badger Mole Cub, right? Nope, Seam Rip. Same difference. So that leaves us with 4 mana, just the right amount to play a Ouroboros. Do we get to keep the Ouroboros is the question. Technically, the answer is yes at the moment, but okay, Feather Flight, they do get to draw a card, which is now the shelter. Nope. All right, that's 6. I mean, I was gonna say if you have it 2 turns, we get wrecked, right? So that's real. All right. Can we, let's see, we would be dealing 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So if we just attack for 8, they go to 12. Yeah, I think we just go ahead and play the Scavenger. And then attack and hope they don't finish us. There's a lot of ways we die. That is not one of them. Alright, well, we didn't get to do any tricky stuff. This would have to come into play tapped, unfortunately. Alright. Well, we just did it the old traditional way. Oh, no. Alright, we're gonna keep it. Can I maybe get a Llanowar Elf off the top? No, no such luck. Alright, fair enough. At this point, we just need an untapped land. There we go. Mostly so after our Weaver dies, we'll be able to play a land so we could play Badger Mole into Curator and maybe set something up. Oh, are they not going to do anything to our Weaver? I'm saying, is it deck and you're going to let me keep the Weaver? Okay, that makes more sense. I was like, something didn't seem right. Sure, Wild Ride, I take a bunch of damage. You got it. Oh, you are late to the party, Mr. Llanowar Elf. Yeah, this is fine. And then we'll go Curator, which can eventually get rid of stuff from the graveyard, which is probably good in this fight. Uh-oh, they're taking the damage. Why 4? Alright. Assuming we lose a Badger Mole Cub. Nope, you're just going to Wild Ride something. Sure. Oh, all that for that? Okay. That didn't even seem that bad. Now, going to 8 is the question. That's a bigger problem here. Probably still worth it, though. I think we take that gamble. And just leave everything back just in case, because they could have haste creatures or something, and we are at a pretty low life total. I'm going to say, the fact they're taking the damage is not helpful for us. They might just fling this thing. Alright, so we're paying to return. Okay. And you're giving up your creature? Yeah, I'm game. I don't even know what kind of crazy mission they're on now. Alright, that'll do it. We'll take the win. Yeah, we'll keep. Okay. Anytime I see Surveil Lands, it makes me think that they might want to be using the graveyard for something. And speaking of, there you go. So Keen-Eyed Curator, probably going to be the right call here. They don't have anything to reanimate yet, so we're not going to deploy the Curator just yet. That would be a mistake. I wonder if we should go, if we go Badger Mole, that opens up possibility for Mikey and Raph too, though, right? So, what do I always want to say Mikey? I guess because it's in like alphabetical order, Mikey and Raph instead of Raph and Mikey. Oh, Lumra's hanging out in there. That's something. All right. You have you a Lumra. All right, so I can get 3, 6, 9, 11 mana. No, why did I say 11? 3, 6, 9, 10. So I can go 7, 8, 9, and still have 1 up to remove the 1 problematic creature. I would take those odds, actually. So let's play, because that's 9. So that would leave 2. Yeah. Just trying to make sure everything works the way we want. And we'll just go ahead and go with this. Get our attacks on. Score another Mikey and Raph. That's not so good. Alright. That's unfortunate. We only have 2, I think, to hit. So that was about as bad as it could have been. And then just hope our board doesn't get swept here. If it does, we're probably cooked. Looks like they might have spot removal. Okay, well, not enough. While we did get the card we wanted in this matchup in Keen-Eyed Curator, I guess it didn't really matter that much anyway, because even if they would have reanimated Lumra, like, alright, they have a probably like a 6/6-ish. Alright, they block, and then they just take a whole pile of other damage. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, plus whatever tramples, maybe. It's like, we were probably okay regardless. Yes, we'll keep this. I don't know why I hesitated. I think because this is one of those things that while I can play spells, it just, we're not sure where things are going to go. Or can go, I should say. I'm going to go and just go for a bigger body and kind of just force the opponent to do something about it. Though playing tap lane with Restless Ridgeline into Bramble Familiar would have been totally reasonable. Alright, so now we need to find something to deal with graveyards. Yep, we have one turn, basically. That's not good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Dang it. If at least it was Vastland's guy, we could have maybe found a way to get some free stuff. But I guess here's what we're going to do. Just increase our odds that maybe we could hit a winner next turn. If we find Raph and Mikey, we can try to do something. Though, I guess if I leave enough mana up, we could just destroy Arden before he reanimates it, because there's nothing else in the yards to get right now. So I guess we're not in that much trouble. Oh, well, there you go. Now they have a thing. Okay, this isn't the worst thing in the world, actually. This kind of works out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This would be number 7. That's number 8. Let's... Alright, let's attack with these two. Even though having the Bramble Familiar could help quite a bit. Okay, the opponent did not get rid of our Bramble Familiar. That's good. In the turn. So the trick here is we kind of have to let them get Arden and then blast the Arden. All right. Okay, there's the Vastlands guy. Is this enough? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We could go for it that way. Opponent's at 12. We can go 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Plus 2 is 12, 13. All right, never mind. We're good. Sweet. Whoa, man. Nice. Had to find some different ways to try to deal with Reanimator, but hey, it still works, right? Take what you can get. Okay, let's keep it. These are the hands that when you do have a Badger Mole Cub, and I think I've said this in other videos, you tend to want to go with a mana creature first and then play the Cub. Just so you can increase the odds that you get something for your value. Even more so now since we're holding a 4-mana thing. Alright, need another 2-mana body. That was not a 2-mana body. But under the circumstances, let's go ahead and just get rid of the Legion Extruder. And just have a bigger body here. Ravenous Robots, you got it. Okay. I think this is where we attempt to Badger Mole. And then play a Weaver. And no attacks. Chainsaw will get Badger Mole, I'm assuming. I'll say anything else is a psychotic play. Right? Like, there had to be that. Chrome Dome, pump some guys, like that's fine. I'd be into a block and trade type scenario. They agreed with my threats. We can Sharpshooter, but I don't think we need to. No attacks. We might Sharpshooter next turn to get rid of Chrome Dome, actually. But I think after that, we might be good. Though in this scenario, I was about to say, it could have been worth it for the opponent to play or activate Chrome Dome to copy a Chainsaw. Could have been pretty good. Yeah, you got it. And then Krang. All right. They're doing their thing. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We still need one more before we can get into using that. We'll just put this into play. Tapped. I mean, we're probably dead in 2 turns, right? He said feels that way. Yep. You got it. Sounds like a plan. I mean, just attack with everything. I guess not necessarily. I mean, I don't know. What is that? 5, 6. I mean, 4 gets through. I'm only at 5. You kill me in 2 turns regardless. All right. Kind of gotta hit. So our only play here is attack with everything and hope we hit Crater Hoof. Because if we don't, what's our other alternative? All right, we just got to go for it. All right, we didn't get there. GG's. Like, we tried. Alrighty, we shall keep it. And pass. I am in the market to take out Atlanta World. No, I didn't want to draw you. Dang it. Yep, I did that backwards. I should have played the Weaver there. This is what happens when you don't follow your own game plans. Look at me being lazy. But I would have lost the Weaver, and then this turn I could have played Badger Mole. Then we've been okay, but no. But that's exactly the type of reason why you don't want to run the Badger Mole out first, because it just gets hit by some type of removal, and then it sucks. What? So the opponent played Mockingbird and then didn't. I think they misclicked. I think they were meaning to copy our Scavenger, but then didn't. Yeah, that's terrible. Either way, well, we made the play we didn't really typically make to see what would happen. It went sideways, and then the opponent misclicked, I guess, and we still get a win. So I guess the magic gods balance everything out. I don't know. Oh my goodness. All right, we'll try. Winning its mono red. Let's see how much damage I have to take before this gets ugly. Oh. We're taking minimal damage. I love the way that sounds. That's way better than the alternative. Let's go ahead and play the Badger Mole. And then play Bramble Familiar. Not too worried about Hexing Squelcher because we don't really need to target their stuff. I mean, we might take 2 damage down the road hitting something with a Burst Lightning, but if so, that's fine. We could live with that. Would I trade my Bramble Familiar here? Because I'm holding the Ouroboros, I probably wouldn't. They don't know that. Alright, cool. Well, if the opponent doesn't know, I was going to say it won't hurt them, but maybe kind of does. Let's play the Badger Mole. Let's go ahead and get the Bossing Say down. We'll play Ouroboros, pump the team, and then we're ready to Crater Hoof next turn. Yeah, not worried about a battler. And we're at 17. Yeah, nice. Think this is a pretty easy mulligan. Let's toss that one. All right, we could do a little more with this, I think. All right. Is it worth it to leave? I think we leave up a burst lightning just in case. Because they could have their own badger mole here. Nope, not a badger mole. Though we now have an indicator this is probably some type of black-green life gain deck. If so, untapped land would be fantastic here. Did not get it. So we're just going to go with the best setup we can. And just run good old Llanowar Elf out there. That's 2 turns too late. And they have a Llanowar Elf of their own. Ooh, can we double Ouroboros? We can. Wow. All right. Well, looks like that's what we're going to be doing. And yeah, just juice. And we're just attacking. I don't even care if you block a badger mole, whatever. Because they need their mana more than we do. Yeah, not going to be close to enough. Going to be a wee bit short there, opponent. No blocks. All right. I think the amusing thing is we have games we're winning with just 3 lands in play. We have some we're winning with a bunch of lands in play. We have some where we never see Badger Mole or Ouroboros. We have some where we've actually done the tricky thing to get a big creature. So we've won a bunch of different ways, which I think is what makes this school very interesting. Okay, we'll keep it. Well, sometimes if the deck just gives you the old school easy answers, you just go with that. Fear of missing out. You got it, my friend. We're doing Reanimator things then, huh? Well, is there anything we can do about that? I don't think so. Let's go ahead and just Badger Mole Cub. And then pass. Have to leave a creature back in case they have something to give that haste after reanimating it, but so far there's not. Okay. That's still reasonable. Raph and Mike, man, that would have been cool this turn, let me tell you. Alright, we're 2, 4, 5 mana. What can they reanimate? Trumpeting Carnosaur could go find something 5 or less. And then they have a Cactar. Alright. This isn't too bad yet. We've skirted past a couple of Reanimator decks so far today. Alright, still nothing scary in there. I mean, this is scary, but not till you have, like, Arden or something. Okay. Could have been worse. Now, do we want to use Scrap Shooter to let them draw a card? Is the real question here. I don't think so. I think they've already done what they've done with that. So let's just try to set up a way. This also has reach, so we don't just die, is the other thing. Though they would gain a bajillion life and kind of negate anything we would do. Alright. How bad is it? Really wish they were at lower life. Okay. That's not bad. We're okay then. Yeah. We got it. Seen a lot of different reanimators today for some reason, but we have somehow skirted them all. Yep, there's the Arden, but it's too little too late for them. Yep, opponent's saying GG's. Yeah, we were going to go big too. Just Wrath, pump everything, get over, see if we find some bonus action, but didn't get the opportunity. Let's keep this. I think we've only lost one time in this video, so we're due for another at some point. We've been running almost way too hot with this deck. Any chance we could draw Llanowar Elf, though? That would be nice. That is definitely not that. Okay, well, I guess our options are pretty slim. We'll play a Curator. And then I'm not sure we'll do what after that. But, man, we have to take so much damage to play these two. We didn't get any of our other green sources, which is tough. Alright, another fear missing out. I guess they're digging for a land, I would assume. Yes, I will trade with this guy. Wow, we did not need to draw a Crater Hoof Behemoth. We're getting very, very, very close to being able to get out of trouble, but we are just not there yet. And we're getting low enough on life, they could just put creatures back on the battlefield. We just keep getting hit and just nickel and dime our life total enough that we just go down. Yeah, I was going to say, with our land situation, I would just be attacking here. Alright. We can finally get some non-pain green, but I don't know if it matters, because... Yeah, you know what? Let's just do it. And then pass. So we at least have blockers for everything at the moment. We can bind to life if they don't get rid of our scavenger, which it looks like they're not. And we don't take any damage from this attack step if we don't want to. Moonshadow, cool. They don't have any mana to get those back, so that's good. We also have reach creatures here. Another way to get more green mana, which is great. Actually, if we do this, we could Crater Hoof next turn. I'm into it. What did we get? Ooh. Do we need another? Oh, hold on. We might need the Leyline Weaver, because we're only at 9. These are 2. And they'd have to leave 2 mana to get those back. We could block up everything else. But they have to discard their hands. They're going to have a large Moonshadow also. I'm going to take Ouroboros. And then... Oh, no, we could just remove those from their yard with the Keen-Eyed Curator. Never mind. If we're really concerned. So, yeah, that's not even an issue. We're fine. Alright. This gives everybody +1. Nice addition to that deck, actually. You can play it from the graveyard. And then we win. Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. Against the Hyper Aggro deck, we had nothing but damage lands, really, to start the turn. We did, I don't know, probably 7 to ourselves this game. And I thought we were going to be cooked. But it turns out, nope. We had Curator to keep them from doing anything silly. We still had a blocker. I'm going to keep this, but this is a little bit of a trap hand when you're holding both of these early. Also, make sure not to play your Verge first, because Verge only makes red. Would like an untapped land, though. It would make life a little easier on the coming turns. But still got to do what we got to do, right? So if they have a removal spell, I'm pretty sure it's going to hit Badger Mole Cub, but we'll see. Oh, they just have a Tifa. Never mind. Time to rock and roll. I guess we could have we could have went with Scavenger and Curator, which probably would have been better because Scavenger could also just touch a Tifa, which would have been pretty smart. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, that's just it. If they attack, they just die. Yeah. They already are in a situation where they have to block. All right. Easy peasy. Sometimes it is that easy. All right, this is fine-ish. I say ish because, okay, there we go. Like, I can say just running out a Badger Mole just to die wouldn't have been fantastic. But now having a Weaver makes things a little better. Made these have the enchantment that remove stuff 2 or less. And they were just waiting on a target. No, Enduring Innocence. Not the card I thought we would see. Huh. Well, what do we do with this information? You know, that 4, I could Scavenger, get rid of that. Yeah, let's try that. It's a little greedy, but, you know, not the end of the world. Oh yeah, that goes away. Play the Scavenger. And then Day of Judgment. Oh, Seam Rip. Okay, so they did have it. They were just slow about casting it. Do we get to keep our Scavenger? Looks like they might have another Seam Rip they were toying around with the idea of. What are you playing, opponent? What are you playing? I don't know what they're doing. And if so, I don't want to waste the bind of life. Alright. Want to counter this? Oh, it's just that? I thought it was going to be way more of a problem. So now I know you're not actually playing the things that we find threatening. See, I was thinking maybe they have sweepers or whatever, but that appears to not be the case. Yeah, Road, you got it. I will gladly take that action. Guessing it doesn't really matter what we get. So I'm assuming there's going to be Aang and whatever, but sure, you got it, fam. Have all the cards. All right. Do we just cast this and try to attack for lots many? Seems good. Instant creature in graveyard. All right, cool. Easy peasy. You know what? Let me say this. I think there's going to be some people that just go like, oh, it's Badger Mole and Crater Hoof again. But here's the thing. One, those are some of the best creatures to play, and it just makes sense. But if your goal is to rank up, I would be playing this. This at least feels like it might be the best Elf, Cub, Ouroboros deck we've played this season. And we're playing at Diamond, and I think we lost a game. And I'd have to go back and look, but I think we just lost a game, and our draw wasn't even spectacular in that one, if I remember right. So this is pretty resilient, good against quite a few different builds. Like, you have a way to have haste creatures. You can dig to find answers later in the game with the scavenger, right? Just being able to play the quick mana game is big. We have creature lands that were able to come through a couple of times. Like, just so much stuff. And I played this, like I said, up to Diamond, just goofing around. And I think we went X and 1 during that run of stuff. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm getting lucky because, until you really play 50 games with something, it's kind of a small sample size. But overall, even then, if you add another 2 or 3 losses to the pile, still very good. If you're trying to rank in Diamond, this is a deck I would really consider. It has some answers for graveyard stuff. You have a couple of things for artifacts and enchantments if you get into a pinch. You can dig your way out of trouble with some key cards later in the game. You have creature lands to help you survive sweepers. It has a little bit of everything. If there's a thing it lacks, it's creature removal, because we really only have the burst lightnings. And in those matchups, you're just trying to go bigger than your opponent can go big. Really, that's kind of your way out. But it seems to work. I don't know what else to say other than that. So yeah, we're going to leave this deck just like it is. We're going to put this link up over on Moxfield. Have fun with it. Oh, well, I say that. Let me say, Firewood Gearhulk, it was kind of fun. It's a card you could search for whenever you're in a weird stalemate and you've got creatures and they've got creatures and you just don't want yours to have to be tapped. But if you want to cut it and play another like Craterhoof Behemoth or something, I totally understand. It wouldn't be the weirdest thing. With that being said, this link's going to be over on Moxfield. Like always, if you want to check out our other decks and have some fun with them, they're there so you can download them and try them in Arena. Otherwise, that's all I have for now. We'll see you next time.